In this video, we're going to show you to install front brakes on your Cadillac Escalade located behind your front wheels. Start by raising the vehicle and supporting it properly. Then we're going to go ahead and start by removing our center cap. Then you want to go ahead and rotate the wheel until you can find the notch in the cap that lines up with the notch in the wheel. You can use a pry tool. We're going to simply use a flathead screwdriver to gently go in there and pry that out. Remove the center cap and set it aside. Using a 22mm socket, loosen and remove all of the lug nuts. With all the lug nuts removed, remove the wheel and set it aside. Now we have our key in the on position. That's going to allow us to release the steering wheel lock, grab your assembly here and rotate this out. Now this isn't necessary, however, it does make it a lot easier to gain access to the hardware on the back that we need to gain access to. We're going to start by removing our brake caliper. There is a 19mm slider pin bolt right here and then one on the bottom. I'll loosen and remove these. Now, in a particular case, the slider pin and the bolt are spinning together. So I'm just going to put a 19mm wrench on the inside while I loosen the outside. Now I grab a support tool here or a caliper hook. And the purpose of this here is when we remove the caliper, we don't want to let this hang. We don't want to add undue pressure or stress on this flex hose here as it can damage it. Wiggle this off. I'm going to use this here. I'm going to hook it and then I'll bring it up and I'll hang it up above, up and out of the way. Now we can see here on the back side of the caliper bracket that 19mm slider pin that I had put the wrench on. There's one there and there's one on the bottom in case you have the same issue going on there. Now you have your inboard pad and an outboard pad. Sometimes they can be stuck, so you're going to use a pry tool or something to get between the rotor and the pad and pop that out. But ours are pretty free, so go ahead and pop those out and set those aside. You also want to take note that the inboard pad has the squeal tab on it. So when you install the new brake pads, you want to make sure that the inboard pad has that squeak tab on it. Now to remove our brake caliper bracket, there are two 18mm bolts. There's one on the top here, and then there's one down over here. I'm going to use an 18mm socket with a breaker bar just to break these free. And then once those are loose, we'll go ahead and use our power tool to zip those out. Make sure you hold on to the caliper bracket because once you remove this bolt, it will fall off. And then grab that bracket, lift that up and out. Now with the caliper and the bracket removed, let's go ahead and straighten out our wheel. And then we'll move out to the front and remove our rotor. Now on our particular vehicle, there is a T30 Torx bit screw right here that holds the rotor to the wheel hub. Now it's not necessary, and if your vehicle doesn't have it, that is okay. Ours does. We're going to use a T30 Torx bit and remove it. We can go ahead and grab that brake rotor and slide it off. Next up you want to do is make sure that the wheel hub surface is clean of any debris, rust, or anything like that. Use some brake solvent. Spray that down. And use your bristle brush and get in around the ridge here. You want to make sure that the new brake rotor fits on there nice and flush without any type of interference. If it does not fit flush, it can cause a brake pulsation right out of the gate. If you do have scaly rust on there, it's okay to go ahead and use a flat file and clean it up the best you can. Now once you're satisfied with the surface being all cleaned up, you want to go ahead and use some anti-seize compound. I just use a piece of trimmed cardboard. That way there it doesn't make a mess. Spray that on. Go ahead and grab your brake rotor. Slide that on. You want to make sure that this recessed port or one of these ports lines up with the hole in the hub itself if you're going to be reusing that screw. Now once again, this isn't necessary. If you have it, use it. The purpose of it is strictly to hold the rotor onto the hub. It does make it easier when assembling the caliper and the bracket assembly. And just gently snug it down. At this point here, go ahead and grab that assembly and crank that out. Now normally, if you're using a standard brake rotor, you want to go ahead and clean that with a solvent to get all of the oils off. So you're going to do that prior to doing the installation of the rotor here. You're going to spray down the rotor, front and back, wipe it all down, make sure there's no oils on it. This here is a G-coated rotor. It does not have any oils on it. It is a protected rotor, so you can put that right on without using any solvent. And we have a brake caliper bracket. You want to go ahead and start to prepare this. And how we're going to do that is we're going to start by popping off these here. These are your pad slides. Now on top and bottom we have slide pins. Now what you want to do is just double check these here. You want to make sure that these spin freely. Okay, ours are working good, but you always want to go ahead and do preventative maintenance on these here. How are you going to do that? You're going to hold that boot, slide that pin out, set that aside. You're going to do the same over here. Now you might need the assistance of a little pry tool, a plastic pry tool. You do not want to tear these rubber boots. Slide that out. You want to go ahead and just kind of stretch out that boot. You want to inspect these boots for any tears or splits. If they are torn or split, you have to replace them now. There's no getting around it because you don't want water or debris getting inside and ruining the mobility of these slider pins. These play a crucial role. Now our boots are in good shape. Go ahead and inspect the slider pins. Go ahead, grab that rag, clean those up. You want to inspect them carefully, look for any deformation on there, any scaly rust, anything like that. That would be any signs of moisture getting into this here. If they are rusty, either replace them or put them through the wire wheel machine, clean them up and get them into good, smooth operating order. Both of ours are in good shape. The next step is you want to clean out the bores inside here. So wearing safety glasses, go ahead and tip this up. I'm going to go ahead and put some spray solvent inside. Then I'm going to come in with a little bore brush and I'm going to clean the inside. Spray that and empty it out. You're going to do that as many times as it takes to make sure that you get all that clean, get all that cleaned out. Repeat for the other side. Okay, you're gonna let that rest for a little bit and dry out. Our next step is to clean where the new sliders are to be placed. You wanna make sure there's no buildup of debris or anything like that, or rust. If you do have rust on here, it is okay to use a flat file to go ahead and clean that surface. You don't wanna take away metal, but you wanna clean up the rust on there. Use some spray solvent and a bristle brush. Clean that up. Once you do this, you're going to go ahead and repeat for the other side. Now inside our rubber boot, go ahead and just use a rag or a towel, and just going to scoop out any old grease that might be inside the crevices there. And do the same on the other side. Okay, so our caliper bracket is ready for reassembly. It's all cleaned up. I'm going to take a little bit of grease and we're going to put it on the slider pin. Now we don't want a ton on there because we don't want to hydrolock inside the unit here with just globs of grease. We basically just want to make it a slippery point there. So this we're going to go in, work that, and then slide this right over the boot and pop that over. Now you see when I push it in and it pushes itself back out, what we're going to do is we're going to pull that rubber boot back, let some air in there, and that's going to let that relax in there a little bit further. So you want that to be nice and free, spinning around and collapsed in as far as possible. I'm going to do the same over here. Line up the caliper bracket. I'm going to get the upper bolt started first. And then we'll get the lower one. Now when installing your brake pads, I'm going to go ahead and insert the bottom, line that up on the top, and slide that in. Now there are spring tabs on these slides. You won't be able to push the brake pad in all the way because it's going to pop back out just a little bit. Don't forget, when you install your inboard brake pad, make sure that this has the squeak tab on the bottom. Do the same on the outside. Line that up. It should line right up in there and slide into place. Now we're going to use our compressor tool here, and what we want to do is push these pistons in until they're flush. So you're going to gently apply some pressure here. Now you can do this using your old brake pad with a C-clamp, but because it's a dual piston, you want to have even pressure on both sides here. Gentle and slow. Once both of those are completely recessed, you can take this here, you're going to slide it over, and you're going to use your hands to push the brake pads in and then slide the caliper over. You're going to have to work those slide pins in as well. Get that into place. Install the upper bolt. You'll have to move that caliper up and down a little bit to get that to line up. And then we'll do the same for the bottom. Let's go ahead and snug those down. Torque down your caliper slide pin bolts to 74 foot-pounds. In our case here, our slide pin bolt is spinning on the back side, so we're going to use our 19mm wrench to hold that. And do the bottom one. Torque down our caliper bracket bolts to 148 foot-pounds. Once you torque these down, we do recommend that you hop into the vehicle, pump up that brake pedal because the caliper has been compressed. You want to go ahead and make sure that that fluid comes back down and compresses the pistons back out. So it might take 3 to 4 full depressions to the floor. Make sure that pedal is nice and firm. Go ahead and install your wheel. I'm going to go ahead and get all of our lug nuts started, and then we'll come back and we'll zip those down. We want to tighten these down in a crisscross pattern. Torque down your lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds. Be sure to do this in a crisscross pattern. Once you're done torquing the wheel, take the center cap, locate the notch in the cap, and line it up with one of the notches in the wheels. Line up the cap, pop that on, and you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.